And I am Stefania Pulio from the Gentleman's Square, and we are going to be talking about why people come in and out of our lives. Now, this is a quite a interesting topic. I am not sure about you, but often I have thought about why do we have people come in and out of our lives, and what's the impact? What's the lesson? There are so many reasons. But if you're listening to this, please join in. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you have thought about when it comes to why people come into our lives. And I know there's a saying that goes, people come into our lives for a reason, for a season, or for a lifetime. And I know when we go through these stages, we will really know what to do with each person. And that's something that someone has said, and it's an unknown, I guess, author or person who has written it. But why do we experience these beautiful, I guess, experiences with people, and sometimes not so beautiful? Or sometimes it may start off really beautiful. We may start off with having amazing experiences with these people, and then it turns bad. Now, some people may debate that it's got to do with karma, or I guess learning a lesson, that we come together with these, people in our lives because we have to learn a lesson. And that's good, I guess, in a way. But when we're actually going through all that, it can be quite painful for some. Others, it's a beautiful thing. And how do we actually look at these? What perspective? Because our perception is our projection, right? So whatever we're projecting is what we're perceiving. So bringing this back to, why people come in and out of our lives. Well, for me, and I think this is just, my own personal opinion, I do believe in, people coming to your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And, the reason we meet usually can be because we have to learn something from that person. And I also believe that a lot of the times we are mirroring to each other what it is that we need to learn. And I also think that when we are feeling a certain way and we're probably looking for answers, sometimes that person will come into our life to show us what it is that we need to learn. And sometimes that teaching isn't easy. It can be quite harsh, and it can be quite brutal at times. And you think, well, that's not what I signed up for. This is not what I really want to experience in my life. But do we have control of how we feel? Do we have control of the emotions that we are going through as we are experiencing things? I often think that, nothing is good or bad. There's no good situations and bad situations, inverted commas. Now, what do I mean by that? I think, we're all out to, I guess, have better lives, have better relationships, have better experiences with people. And sometimes people are coming to our life to teach us that very thing, that maybe we've experienced with someone else, and we didn't quite get the lesson back then with that other person, that other situation, that again, the universe is bringing back around the same sort of teachings, but with a different person. And I think sometimes we really need to reflect on that and ask, why, what is the lesson? What do I need to learn from this situation? What is it that I need to learn from what has just happened, from what has just transpired? Now, I know myself, I have had many experiences and I've had many people come in and out of my life. And I've had many situations where I've, um, been left with beautiful memories. And in other cases, I've been left with not so beautiful memories. And I've actually asked myself, why did that happen? Why was it just so amazing in the beginning, so beautiful, to only like turn so quickly? Was it me? Is it something I did? Is it something that I didn't do? And a lot of the times, I think, we put the pressure on ourselves when in actual fact, it may not be about us. It may not have anything to do with us. You or we can actually be the catalyst for that person to have learnt a particular lesson. And I think when we view life like that, without judgment, without having expectations, we go through life a lot easier. We're able to let go of particularly the painful experiences that we may have. And isn't it funny how we tend to remember the more painful experiences than we do the pleasant ones? And, if we can sometimes just, look at those beautiful experiences we've had that with that someone and say, wow, they were beautiful moments. I did have a great time. It didn't last for how long I wanted it to, but they were beautiful. I think we can deal with the unpleasant situations a little bit better, in the sense that we're able to just let go of that pain. Now, sometimes we need to work a little harder at letting go of the pain. And, like anything, I always say it's like getting a splinter out of our finger. When we get a splinter in our finger, it doesn't just come out very quickly. We have to usually dig around with a needle and, pull it out in a way that where we can sort of like get it all out so it doesn't get infected. Sometimes we choose to leave it there a little longer because it's not really hurting us that much. It can be a little bit uncomfortable when we press on it, but we don't do anything about it. But sooner or later, it's going to come up to the surface because it wants to come out. And I guess that's the same as emotions. That's the same with pain. That's the same with, the hurt that we experience. And I know, you know, of late I had a experience. I just want to share with you an experience where um, I, have known a person for over 13 years, and we were like best friends, best of besties, and just over something very little, I would call, when I think back about what had happened, the conversations that we had, obviously what I said had triggered something within her that it blew out of proportion. It blew out of proportion to the point where I guess she didn't want to speak to me anymore. She ended the relationship. And it happened so quickly. It happened so abruptly. It happened in a way that at first I thought, oh, wow. And I had texted her and said, when, you kind of like calm down and feel up to it, let's talk about this. And in return, she voiced a whole lot of, unpleasant things I felt towards me, and made it very clear that she didn't want to speak to me anymore. And I said, wow, isn't that amazing? We can have relationships with people for a very long time. We can share so much. We can, you know, laugh together, feel the pain together, cry together, help each other, support each other. And then in an instant, it can all just blow up in your face and go. And you're left wondering, why do people come in and out of our lives like that? And, we can understand the short stints of when people come into our lives. And we say, okay, they've come in, they weren't meant to stay, and they fleet back out. But when we have long, extended friendships, relationships, and then boom, overnight, they just disappear. How do we deal with that? Why does that happen? Why has someone like come in and supported us and helped us and then all of a sudden gone? And I, reflected on this. I really, really reflected on it. And, you know, I think in life, we have to understand that relationships teach us lifetime lessons. Those things that you must build upon in order to have a solid emotional foundation. And I know, sometimes our emotions can feel a little shaky, but I believe our job is to accept the lessons. As much as it is difficult, as much as you love that person and you don't want to lose that person, we have to accept the lesson and put what we've learned to use in all other relationships and other areas of our lives. That's what I have come to the conclusion, right? Because why else does all this happen? Is the reason that we are being, is all this happening because we are being reminded. Sometimes we lose sight of our goals. Sometimes we lose sight of why we are in relationships with people. Sometimes we lose sight of what really matters in our relationships. And it's clouded. It's clouded because we're all going through our own emotions. We're all going through our own, I guess, challenges. We're all trying to keep our heads above the water. And I think these times, these times that people do come in and out of our lives, it is to remind us of what matters more, what is important. Why do we cross our paths? Why do we come together? And I also believe that, yes, we're all teaching each other lessons. They say that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And I believe we're all teachers and students to each other. We're not always a student and we're not always a teacher. And if we can sometimes step down from being the teacher and just take in the lesson, take in the challenges, take in, the feelings, the lows as much as, the highs. And I don't think anything is really a failure. I truly believe everything is just feedback. And if we can look at life and lessons and relationships and that, the reason why people come in and out of our lives is because it's feedback. That's right. It's feedback to us. And unconsciously, we are asking questions, whether we're conscious of it or not. We are having a dialogue within ourselves. And these situations are happening because our questions are being answered. They are being answered through people that come in our lives. Okay. Now, you may not agree with me. I mean, we all have our own reasoning. We all have our own, ideas of why people come in and out of our lives. And we can sit there and just get angry and expect certain things to happen. We expect certain outcomes to happen with certain people. But no, I think it's part of growing, it's part of evolving, it's part of, our own evolution as a person. And growth is a continuous process. I believe that. And if we stop growing, if we refuse to grow, well then what's happening is other people may be outgrowing us, or we're outgrowing other people. And that's why there's this continuous cycle of, people coming in and out of our lives. And I think we can use these moments as beautiful moments in our life. Now, if anyone's out there and listening, please let us know. Let us know your thoughts. I'm just going to check to see whether my Facebook, I know that I'm on Facebook and YouTube. Yes. Not sure if if anyone's out there listening to this, let us know. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know what you think. But, whatever is happening in our lives, take it as feedback. Take it as I'm growing, I'm evolving, I'm learning from this. And, the question is, every person who crosses our path is important in his or her own way. Its significance shouldn't be ignored, okay? If we wish to grow and succeed in our lives. And, there's nothing wrong with, if someone has disappeared out of our lives for whatever reason, what's wrong with reaching out? What is wrong with reaching out? And I think particularly now in this time in our lives where, we're coming to the festive season, and some people are sharing this moment with family and friends, whereas others may be sharing this moment alone and may use this time to reflect with thinking about, the special moments with people in our lives. It can be special moments as to, why these people have come into our lives. What have I learned? What growth has come from this? How can I be grateful for this person to have come into my life? And I think when we can look at relationships and look at the reasoning why these people are in and out of our lives from that perspective, we're actually going to have better relationships. Yes, we are building that foundation that when we are moving into other relationships, we aren't stuck in that mental programming. We aren't stuck in that mindset as to why this happened. I'm afraid to move on because it may happen again. I've got to protect my heart. I've got to protect my feelings. No. Protection is good, and being cautious and being awake and being conscious, but also allowing yourself to just, move through these relationships, move through these lessons as feedback, yes, as lessons that will fortify us and help us forge forward in our lives. Okay, so that's my take on why people come in and out of our lives. I would love to know what your thoughts are. I would love to know what you think. And yeah, any comments are welcomed. And I just want to say thank you for joining in, and I want to say thank you for taking the time to listen. I know sometimes we all have busy lifestyles, but these are the things that matter. These important moments in relationships, being present, being really present with the people that are in your life at that given time. All right. So, as always, I send you lots of love and I send you lots of passion. And I wish you all a wonderful, wonderful festive season. Yes, a very Merry Christmas, holiday season, whatever you wish to call it. And I look forward to seeing you in my next show, which uh, is I'm not quite sure if I'm going to have a Let's Talk relationship next week, being that holiday break. I will see you in the new year. Okay, as always, I send you love and I send you passion. Bye for now.